everyone, I'm JD from Willow Journals, and I have another donation, crafty donation for the mental health fundraiser that I'm running this year from the lovely Tanya. And she is a librarian at the local library where I live. And so these are some really fun goodies. She also does crafting and makes her own journals too, which is really, really fun. And last year she actually gave me a whole bunch of library cards, like old authentic library cards. So I really love using those. And yeah, as I go through the goodies that she has donated, I'll share a bit of an update of where I'm at with the fundraiser and the book that the proceeds of the mystery packs are going towards. So for those who don't know, the donations that have come through were made into mystery packs that were sold in my Etsy shop, and 50% of which went to Beyond Blue, which is an organisation in Australia that helps with suicide and depression and anxiety, and 50% went to a book that I am working on this year, which is helping me with my own well-being and journey. And my hope is that it's a book that is a comfort for others who go through struggles of life, because whether we have depression and anxiety or not, we all go through struggles and we all feel pain. And so, yeah, I hope that book is just like a warm hug that makes people feel seen and understood and known and loved. So, yeah, I have been getting more emails from lovely ladies from around the world asking to donate or asking for my address to donate. So if you would like to contribute to this fundraiser, feel free to email me. My email is down below in the description box. And yeah, basically you can check out the link down there as well in the description box to the Beyond Blue fundraising page, and that's where all of the money from the mystery packs towards Beyond Blue has gone. So you can see that tally as it rises. And I also made some Beyond Blue journals where all the proceeds from that went to Beyond Blue as well. And that's a page where you can donate directly to if you would like to just donate financially rather than through crafty goodies. And in terms of the book, there is also a fundraising page for that. If you're interested in supporting the book that I'm writing, it is a visual memoir, and at the moment I will be raising money through that page for a light box. So that's the next thing that I need to get in terms of where I'm up to in the process of making this book. So I spent the first half of the year working on the words. I am now spending the second half of the year, or the first part of the second half of the year, working on pages and artwork and backgrounds for those words to lay on top of. And then I need to photograph those pages. And so there is I don't know if it's officially called like a photo light box, but I'm hoping to get a really quite large one, because some of my pages are large, like larger than scrapbook paper size. So when I photograph them, it's a little bit tricky to get the whole size, but the photo light box thing is what they recommend in the course that I'm doing for this bookmaking course. And yeah, I'm not really sure how it works, but I am excited to start photographing some of these pages. And what will happen is, yeah, if they're larger, they just get, sized smaller once it's digital. And if they're smaller pages, they can be enlarged as well. So I'm diving into everything. I've got Canva now for the first time on my laptop, and I love that Canva removes backgrounds. So that's been really cool for handwriting, so that I can, I know what the words are, but isolate my handwriting so I can lay it on top of other backgrounds. And photos to remove the background for that too. That has been super, super handy. So learning about all this technical stuff, learning about margins and page sizes and gutters and pixels and image resolution, and yeah, it's full on. But anyway, I'm just going to loop this video as I continue sharing. I actually last night wrote something else unrelated to the book, but any writing is good. So I wrote a 500-word story, short story, non-fiction, because I'm a life writer, and it's for a life writing competition that I've entered on multiple occasions before. And so, spur of the moment, the deadline's tomorrow. I just all of a sudden felt inspired to write a story, and it's about, this competition is faith stories, and all about not using, Christian jargon, Christianese, but quirky stories, real stories of faith, just plainly told, but still with all the story embellishings. So that's interesting and engaging as well. So I was very excited to write that story. It's been quite a while since I've written anything like a finished piece that wasn't the book. So that has been really good. And I don't know, it's just the most, when I finish that piece, it's just always the most wonderful feeling. But one thing that I do think is that that piece was able to come out quite easily because of the work that I've put in with the book, and this little 500-word story. It doesn't come into the book, but the theme of it does. And the theme of this story is being seen. And I write about the time when I had depression and anxiety, and I was just in so much pain during that time, and I felt like I couldn't let anyone see it. And I was just trying to get through the day, just trying to survive. And every time someone would say, how are you? Or I'd be with people, I was always just smiley, and people would never have known anything was going on. But on the inside, I was just in, turmoil. And I felt like I had to hide all of my pain and the anger that I felt and the self-hatred. And yeah, I remember one time, this is what I wrote about in the story, it just got so intense and felt so bad that I pictured myself smashing my head into a glass door. Like, I never would do that in real life, but I just imagined it as a way to express the pain that I was going through. And all I wanted was someone to see that pain, but I didn't feel like I could show it because I felt like, there was something wrong with me. And I remember also, this another part I wrote about in the story is, I was sitting down with some ladies, and one lady was sharing some of the struggles that she was going through. And normally I would care, I'd feel empathy and would want to try to help or do something. But I just was shocked this day because I couldn't muster up anything to care. And then I felt bad about myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, what a bad human I am, that I can't even find the empathy to care. But because I was just so numb, and I felt just so empty, and there was no energy left to care for anyone else because I was just trying to survive. And so yeah, I went home and just was so angry at myself and just so confused and so in pain. And I I drew. This was back when I did my Prismacolor drawings, and I drew this face, and it was a self-portrait, just trying to express what I was going through because I wanted to be seen. And so I put it on the page, like, see me. And then when I finished, I couldn't even look at it. I couldn't look at myself because it was just too dark, too scary, too ugly. So I put it away. Finally, though, I did go see a psychologist, and I finally told her all this stuff that I felt too scared to tell anyone, about the crazy thoughts in my head of I'm a terrible person and I'm no good, and all those kind of thoughts of self-hatred and all that kind of thing. And through our sessions, she would never call me crazy, she would never reject me, she would just listen and understand and see me. And that was just more than anything. The thing that helped the most was simply being seen. I didn't need any advice. I didn't need to be given any tools, which, that all came and was helpful as well. But the initial just being seen and being held and supported just as I was, that was made a huge difference in my life. And so, yeah, I went back to look at that picture with enough time passed, and I looked at that picture and I no longer was scared by it. I mean, it was still dark and it was still pretty ugly looking, but I wasn't afraid of it anymore. I wasn't afraid of that part of myself anymore. And, I've come a long way since then. I don't have depression or anxiety anymore, but I still struggle with dark thoughts and feelings at times. And I still have a monster inside that sometimes doesn't like myself at all times, that sometimes is uncaring at times, that sometimes just really gets in a dark place. But what I know now is I can share that. I'm allowed to let that be seen. I'm allowed to show my monster, and I will show you my monster, and you don't have to show me yours, but I want to say you have permission to show yours. Our monster isn't too scary. Our monster might feel really, really scary, but we all have one, and we can let it be seen. What I realize is that God, he sees my monster. When no one else saw my monster, he would see my monster, and he would just say, yeah, I see it all, and I love you still. And that makes all the difference. That love, I mentioned this as well on my channel, his love is my absolute foundation. It's what I stand on. It doesn't take away the pain in life, but it gets me through it. It holds me through it. It supports me through it. And, the pain isn't lessened. You still feel it strongly. Struggles will come, but that love is enough. So yeah, there was a bit more to the story than that, but that was the gist of it, about just being seen and the importance of being seen. And I hope that encourages you in some way. And yeah, that's pretty much what my book is going to be about, is being seen through the struggles. And I hope through it that people, whoever picks it up and whoever reads it, they will just feel seen and loved. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and being here. If you'd like to be part of this fundraiser, feel free to email me. If you would like to support me with this book and donate towards helping me get that photo light box, feel free to check out that link to the donation page. And if you want to donate directly to Beyond Blue, feel free to donate there too. But most of all, just know that you are not alone in your struggles. Most of all, know that you are allowed to share your struggles, and you are allowed to be seen. And being seen with your monster doesn't make you any less lovable. You are lovable with your monster. Bye, guys. A big thank you to my beautiful patrons who supported me in June. I could not do this without you, so thank you so much for helping me do this channel and be a full-time creative. If you would like to become a patron, there is a link to my Patreon down below in the description box, where you get access to extra videos and printables and mail and journals, depending on what tier that you would like to support me at. You can also check my journaling courses down below in the description box, and all the different places to find me there too.